Straight from the darkness and into your hearts. We welcome you to the incredibly fun and lighthearted The Mad Bolus Podcast. The Mad Bolus Podcast is not intended for anyone under the age of 21. Children, please go away.
Welcome back to the Fat Cholas Podcast.
This is Fat Cholas.
It's been a while, Fat Cholas. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Dusty.
It's Hawkins, Dusty
Hawkins.
Yeah, here in the new Chattanooga Podcast Studio Network.
We are back.
The Chattanooga Podcast Network Studio New. It's been a long time. Matt Bolus on the Matt Bolus Podcast. Creaky chairs.
Creaky chairs are a thing here on the Cholas Bolus Podcast. It's really nice being back here on the Cholas Bolus Podcast with the one, the only Dusty Hawkins.
That is me. Welcome back, me and Matt Bolus. I am pro-abortion because some of you should have been.
You're for abortion?
Yeah. Why would I be against it? There are too many fucking people.
I don't really have an opinion in the matter.
It's probably the safe bet. If you want to have an abortion, have an abortion. If you don't want to have an abortion, don't have an abortion.
People should be able to have the choice. If they want to have an abortion, they can have an abortion. Now, morally, that's all up to you, whether or not if you want to burn in hell.
Sometimes people are like, oh, you're pro-abortion? Does that mean you're pro-rape? And I'm like, yes. If you want to rape somebody, rape somebody. If you don't want to rape somebody, don't rape somebody. It's not my fucking business what you do.
I'm pretty much for anything anybody wants to be.
That's a minute and 20 seconds, and we're already talking about abortion, and we are coming out swinging. Sponsor free
Here on the Cholas Bolus Podcast. No more sponsors. Nope, no more sponsors.
I actually have taken out an ad for myself later on. We'll get to that.
Oh, have you?
Matt, I am feeling great. How are you feeling?
I'm doing wonderful, Dusty. It's good to see you in this wonderful mood.
I tell you, I've lost about 150 pounds of dead weight, and I've never felt better.
You're looking great, bro.
Thank you.
You look like you're ripped. Looks like you've gained some muscle.
Gained some weight, but lost some dead weight. So I am ripped. The chair is creaking and breaking.
Who were those two girls that were walking out as I was coming?
That's none of your fucking business.
That's pretty cool, though.
And don't even ask me who the guy was either, because I don't know. I don't want to know.
Cholas Bolus Podcast. You're listening to the Matt Bolus Podcast on the Cholas Bolus Podcast on the Chattanooga Podcast Network.
The new and improved Chattanooga Podcast Network. We are back and back as ever. Handshake. We'll be right back after these words from Matt Bolus.
Hey.
You got nothing?
That was intro into me.
I teed you up, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a long time since we've all had a good sit down, chit chat, and talked about some things.
I don't give a fuck. I gives no fucks. I'd like to apologize about my language, but I'm not sorry, so here fucking it is.
It's all good. Look, people wanted the world to be weird, man.
It got pretty fucking weird.
It's getting, yeah. But this is, like... People were wanting the world to be weird, man, and once it got weird, people got scared, man.
Please don't allow it to be weird anymore. I'd say the more weird, the better. If you want to piss in a boy's room, piss in the boy's room. If you want to piss in the floor, piss in the floor. Again, I don't give a fuck.
Go outside and shit in your neighbor's yard.
I'm coming for you, neighbor.
Show 'em.
I'm going to shit in my neighbor's yard soon.
What you been up to, Dusty Hawkins?
Not much, man. Not much. Building this studio from the ground. Because if I started from the sky and worked my way down, it structurally wouldn't have been very sound. Recording podcasts, like I said, lost a lot of dead weight.
We're back at it, though. Here we are.
I'm fine. I've actually never been happier. There was like...
You look great. You seem like you've got this aura about you.
Thank you.
You've got this huge fucking burden just lifted up off your shoulders.
I do have a huge fucking burden, but that's none of your business, and don't ask his name.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm great, man. I may have, in the past year, I may have gone through 15 or 20 seconds of sadness, but after that, it's more rage. I'm learning how to feel feelings again. I was hungry.
Feelings, I have those every day.
I haven't had feelings in a long time, man.
I have those every day.
I was just in this cycle of like, wake up, do some shit you don't want to do some more shit you don't want to do, go to sleep next to someone you don't want to go to sleep next to, wake up, do the same shit over and over again. And now I'm hopping from town to town to just as much as recently gay Dusty Hawkins, bouncing from to town to town. I'm on the grinder wagon. Come grind me at Dusty at Grinder at Dusty at me. Grind me. That's my slogan. What's so funny about me being a recently gay man? Is there something funny about that?
I'm not laughing.
My lisp
I'm
is
proud
still
of you.
developing. Thank you. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, did you hear me laugh?
I saw you laugh.
Did you hear me laugh?
For those with the benefit
Did
of,
you hear me laugh?
I heard it.
I didn't laugh.
With the
Go back.
I can't go back.
I know.
Okay. I will go back. Eventually.
Eventually. Well, Dusty, I have one thing to say to you. I'm very proud of you. Handshake. Probably jerked a couple of off by now.
It's none of your business.
It's none of my business.
I don't tell anybody, boys.
It's none of his business, y'all.
It's none of my business who's got jerk either.
Yeah. It's none of his business.
I would just like to take this time and say sorry, Dad. Always been very supportive of me. Yeah.
So so you're coming out on the podcast?
Oh, I've been out
Oh.
for 18 days now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is this real?
Oh, so real.
Oh, it's not.
What does it matter?
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I'm just wondering.
So you're wondering whether or not I'm coming out or
No,
not?
I mean, but on the podcast.
I mean, yes and no.
Okay, man.
It's
well,
both.
I'm proud of you.
Am I coming out? No. But am I gay? Maybe.
Well, I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
Either way.
Sorry, Dad. What? You want me to be real? Here I am. Rock me like a hurricane.
What's up?
Nothing. You the same thing that was up 15 minutes ago.
What's up, Dusty?
No, a lot. I'm following a lot of people on Instagram. If you've recently been followed by me, congratulations. If not, I'll get to you. If you want to smoke weed, smoke weed. If you don't want to smoke weed, don't smoke weed. It's your choice. Again, I don't give a...
I may or may not partake in marijuana.
Ladies and gentlemen, look in his eyes and tell me whether or not it was him.
Go ahead, look.
We dare ya. Yeah, there's a camera there, there's a camera there, there's a camera there. I've got a camera in my crotch. Don't worry about that one. Again, none of my business.
I'm really digging the studio here. Dusty Hawkins has laid out a bunch of different posters up on the walls to really make the studio feel more at home. We have
Big news, Matt Bolus back on Facebook. Holy moly, bago.
Facebook is such a wonderful thing. It's a self-glorifying platform. I love it. It's very gluttonous in its ways. It can really help people understand just how perfect and cool you are. It's a great thing.
Speaking as a humble man, I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your shirt definitely yells, "I'm fucking awesome."
Thanks, man.
It's a fucking cool shirt, bro.
Thanks. It's a pumpkin.
I had a whole bag of
I forgot how compelling you are. You're a great storyteller.
It's
A new thing for us is actually looking at each other while we do this.
Yeah.
Every other episode you've ever heard, we're just looking the other way.
We're always looking.
Not looking at each other.
Let's not break eye contact.
I have to break eye contact.
Why?
Because I've got to check the levels. They're good.
It's really nice to have all of our fans back with us again. Everybody's coming together again to just sit around the fire. I like to think people have those old-timey radios set up. You know, you can go buy a vintage old radio that has like Wi-Fi on it now at any thrift store. That you can if you don't, go to a thrift store, find an old radio and want you to adapt it to this, so you can sit around like you're listening to the War of the Worlds again, all over again, like you're listening to War of the Worlds. It'd be really nice if everyone, the whole family, just sat around that radio and just listened in to the Matt Cholis Bolus podcast. I don't even know if it's going to be called the Cholis Bolus podcast.
It's the Matt Bolus podcast.
I think we should just call it the podcast.
No, it's the Matt Bolus podcast. I built a damn legacy. I gave you the better part of 5 years of my fucking life, and I come home from work and all of a sudden you're not a fucking podcast anymore? No, I gave you 5 fucking years.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's all I needed to hear. Jesus Christ, it wouldn't have been such a big deal if you'd have left me a fucking note.
I guess I could have done that, but I don't know what. I was in a hurry.
Yeah, a real hurry.
You know, this other network wanted me to come with them. And look, let me tell you something. Me and this other network, we knew that we had always had that business relationship together.
Yeah, something special.
Yeah.
Something special.
But we just kind of we just didn't want to do it, you know.
Well, thank you for
we
not.
never wanted to act on
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
business transactions.
Yeah, continue wasting my time and my resources to just slap me in the face with your metaphorical podcast dick.
Look, I still love you, man.
You don't. And I know that. And I fucking know that. Okay?
Look, we can still have the podcast together.
We can. Oh wait, yeah, we can still have the podcast. Sorry,
Yeah.
Got lost. Got lost there.
Yeah, it's all right.
Sometimes I go.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, that would be a really good way.
You can eat my ass. This is my life too.
Get your point.
This
across.
is my fucking
That would
life
be a
too.
really good way of getting your point across.
The difference between my life and other lives is I actually have the vocal capabilities to express myself.
Yeah.
Some people don't. I also got a big
That's
old,
why you know what I think.
big old ball sack right here. 2 years of my fucking life gone
Well,
in an instant. Story time.
story time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What you're about to experience is 1, 2, 3.
Story time. Story time.
He's dancing in
I'm
the
dancing
sunlight.
again. I'm dancing.
Dancing in the streets.
I'm dancing again.
Dance, 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 dance.
That'll be a copyright strike. You need to back on.
I don't even know what that was.
Somebody does.
I just did.
The artificial intelligence at Google will know what that is.
Yeah.
Why have you never thought of it? It's awful homophobic that you haven't thought.
I've just never thought about
It's
it
kind
on a
of
scale.
It's kind of homophobic that you've not thought.
Oh, really?
About how hot men think you
I've
are.
just never had those.
Yeah.
I know I've never been hit on by a gay man before.
I have been hit on by a lot of gay men. So today we're going to explore each other's sexuality.
Oh.
We're going to find out just how far you'll go on a podcast. Will Matt allow me to penetrate him on this podcast?
No.
Here we go.
No.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty fun.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's not that bad.
I'm a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman too. I'll show you a good time.
A gentleman does not discuss such
My phone
things.
number's 423. I'm a fucking gentleman.
No one's doubting that, Dust.
Thanks, man. I didn't do anything wrong.
No one's saying
I've
that.
never once admitted to making a mistake.
No one is forcing you into anything.
No,
on
they're
this
not.
Podcast.
But I'm forcing you into full-on penetration on the Matt Bolus podcast coming up after this.
Dum, dum, dum.
I'll do everything in my power to ensure that there is no next week. At all.
I am spending most of the budget on these airplane tickets.
Yep. And these chairs. I built this fucking place from the ceiling down. Structurally not sound. I put my pants on like everybody else does. Both legs at the exact same time.
He just jumps right into it.
Just jump in. What are you doing? Oh, I gotta make coffee. Blah. No, get in your fucking pants. Get in your fucking car. Come to me. Take your fucking pants off. Both legs. Same time. Surrender. It's time to... I'm
digging it.
I'm not.
Let's keep it
It's
going.
not a good
keep
public
it going.
image. It's a terrible...
Speaking of the chairs, we want to thank Hertz Chairs. Hertz Chairs brings you all sorts of different types of chairs. If you need office chairs, you need dining chairs, you need table chairs, you need bar stools, you need breakfast chairs. Hertz Chairs.
If you're looking to furnish your newly purchased apartment and you left all your shit behind, Hertz chairs. You can take them. They hurts. This shit hurts. It's almost like I got something to say,
I
huh?
didn't even think about how it hurts. You're a fucking genius.
Thanks, man. You're pretty smart.
That was a really good laugh. I feel like we're getting our groove back.
Once again, Matt Bolus is coming back to Lake Winnipesaukee with the Matt Bolus podcast tent. There will be frisbees. There will be kickballs. There will be a lot of toys because I have a lot of toys. We're giving them away. No, thank you. I'm stoned. Sorry, Dad.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please come down to Lake Winnipesaukee
July 4th.
and help us celebrate 118 years of the Cannonball. Brages and Bragettes, let me tell you something right now. The Cannonball 118 year celebration of the Cannonball on July 4th. Dusty Hawkins, the newly envisioned, the newly reinvented, the newly reinvigorated Dusty Hawkins will be there at Lake Winnipesaukee to present all sorts of prizes. Bring picnic baskets, everyone.
There will be prizes. There will be hot dogs. And afterwards, we are going to be streaming live the third season of Stranger Things. Watch the third season of Stranger Things Stranger Things with Dusty Hawkins and Matt Bolus on the Matt Bolus podcast, live commentary so you can't hear the dialogue.
And then after the premiere episode of Stranger Things, we will be hosting on the main stage at Lake Winnipesaukee for the first time in over 5 years, Teriyaki Karaoke.
Teriyaki Karaoke, it's going to be off the balls. 5 fucking years of my life. Live at Lake Winnipesaukee. Matt Bolus podcast.
Yeah.
Come one, come all. Freedom.
Freedom, let freedom ring in your hearts.
The Matt Bolus podcast would like to apologize to Dusty Hawkins' father.
I like how we're bringing Teriyaki Karaoke back.
Teriyaki Karaoke was other than the 3rd-degree burns on my penis, which have healed, guys. They have finally healed. Special ointment and a nice sleeve around it. I'm good. But Teriyaki Karaoke is going to be awesome. No tits allowed. You can't pull them out. No tits. Keep them in. But it's going to be good. It's a $2 cover charge. All the Teriyaki Karaoke that you can handle. We're going to put teriyaki sauce all over the floor. We're going to slip and slide.
See, my vision of Teriyaki Karaoke is completely different than yours.
What is your vision of Teriyaki Karaoke?
I just imagine some people, doing karaoke and like everybody's got chicken on a stick and it's just covered in teriyaki sauce.
So my vision is just teriyaki sauce
On
while
the
you sing
floor.
on the floor.
I mean, I get it because we didn't specify chicken in teriyaki karaoke.
No, it's teriyaki
just
karaoke.
Teriyaki karaoke.
We'll be back with all of this and more after these breaks. And we're back on the Joe Rogan podcast with Matt Bolus on the Matt Bolus podcast.
Take Dusty Hawkins taking it right back to 2005 with this mood lighting we have going on in the studio right now.
Back before things got complicated.
Way back before things got complicated, definitely in the world.
I have a very special guest joining us here, Matt. It is my spiritual advisor,
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden on Snapchat. You can add him there for all of your hentai, anime, 3D, dick pics. I'm not judging. You shouldn't either.
It's very nice. What's your name? Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
It's very nice to have Joe Biden on the podcast. It's awesome to have a guest on the podcast.
Joe Biden, the base of your dick.
Yeah.
About. Oh. I thought you were asking for my measurements there for a second. I was about to bust them out.
Remember, guests are always welcomed here on the Matt Cholas podcast.
And in the nude. Always in the nude. It's obligatory.
I'm not a fan of nudity. I haven't been nude since, what year is it, 2019? I haven't been naked since 2014. Damn, that's
This is why we have Joe Biden on the podcast.
Joe Biden is a spiritual mentor of mine. I've fallen into a spiritual funk, kind of like Parliament, but with a little bit of, Deftones. It's like if Parliament and Deftones cheated on you with your cousin and left you while you're at work, that would kind of be what it is.
This Joe Biden, not to be confused with the former Vice President Joe Biden. This is a different Joe Biden. He is a spiritual advisor. I'm halfway through his book. It's wonderful, by the way.
Well, thank you. It's been a long time on that one.
And I'm actually thinking about switching my religion like Dusty did to Joe Biden. He just doesn't have a religion. That's the religion that Dusty has, is that he has no religion. And that is the religion I'm thinking about switching to on advice from our guest today on the podcast, Joe Biden.
Are you going to be at the Lake Winnipesaukee July the 4th Teriyaki Karaoke Stranger Things premiere?
We're also going to be celebrating the 118th birthday of the Cannonball.
At Lake Winnipesaukee Matt Bolus podcast, July the 4th, Teriyaki Karaoke premiere, season 3 of Stranger Things.
Fireworks will be aplenty. Here's a bowl, Mr. Biden. Fireworks will be aplenty. Teriyaki chicken on a stickin' will be aplenty. We will have teriyaki karaoke right after the first episode of the season things, Stranger Things.
Season 3's premiere.
Stranger
Things.
Strange.
I was just informed to keep everyone inside.
By who?
The National Weather Service. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for Hamilton County. So please, if you are hearing this, take cover immediately.
Is that real? We'll be right back here on the Matt Jokas podcast.
Thank you, and take cover.
This has been a production of the Chattanooga Podcast Network.